Hello, my name is Emily Schromm, and this is my beautiful city of Denver, Colorado. I'm especially proud of it today because we, the Broncos, I shall say, just won an amazing, important game. Go Broncos. If you're not a Broncos fan, I'm sorry. The whole city is super excited about it. So anyway, this is just, you know, a little taste of my city, and we're gonna do an Ask Em today about sustainable fishing. We're gonna talk a little bit about my EmPack and my Kickstarter. And then we're also gonna talk about the differences between white rice and brown rice. Welcome, I'm Emily. This is episode 13. Enjoy. Our first question is from A. Knight Perry on Instagram, and she said, I know you addressed this once on a previous challenge, but I need a refresher. Why choose white rice over brown? So differences between white rice and brown rice. Honestly, for any first, rice is a very simple carb. And so if you are trying to lose weight, our goal is to lessen simple carbohydrates. The difference between white rice and brown rice comes from the brand. So you think about in nature, certain plants protect themselves so that they don't, birds can't get to them as easily and they don't overseed everywhere. And so this kind of brand protects it, and that's what that brown rice has. The white rice has no brand, and so it's a lot more easily digested. With that being said, some people think that that's a good thing. So we want something to take longer to digest and it's gonna fill us up longer. I honestly think all that's bullshit. So if you have carbohydrates, depending on your goal, for me, I'm an athlete. I work out a lot, and so white rice has been a great addition because it's a very simple, easy to digest carb, especially post-workout after a heavy lifting day, after a heavy workout. Sushi can be fantastic. It's just some tricks. You can just get rid of the fake meat. You can get rid of the soy and get rid of gluten-free, get rid of the soy sauce, and you can use coconut aminos instead. And you can try to ask for different sauces that's not gonna be full of a bunch of calories and a lot of soy and gluten, because for me, any of that really upsets my stomach. So the point of white rice versus brown rice, white rice is fantastic because it doesn't upset people's stomachs. It makes sure that you're getting the simple carbohydrate that you need, but only if you are someone that is not a weight loss client and you don't already have some insulin resistance or sensitivity issues. So if you are eating a lot of rice, basically, if we're not fat adapted, that's just gonna go into storage. So if you are that person, you're not quite fat adapted and you're a sugar burner, you should do my challenge. My superhero challenge is all about changing your ways so that you're not sugar burning, you're fat burning. And so you're taking out those extra sources of carbs. I don't think that's a forever thing, and so that's why I just prefer white rice, especially if I'm training harder. I hope that answers your question. This leads me into my next topic. This is just something that I'm really interested in. I want to open up the conversation to you guys. It's something that has to be addressed because our oceans are suffering for it. But overfishing is, you guys know or have heard of, that's a big problem. And so when we think about the best sources of fish, leading off of our sushi talk, wild caught is always, people think wild caught and that's the best. And I agree, wild caught absolutely is the best, but it's not sustainable. In our oceans, in 50 years, if we keep doing what we are doing to them, there will not be fish for us to eat at all. And it's really sad because our oceans are, anyone that has a soul knows that the oceans are so important to our life, and the animals there are just fascinating to me. I've always been drawn to the ocean, and it just breaks my heart. So what do we do, and what are some ways around it? And so I've been researching kind of like sustainable practices that aren't just wild caught. And so when you think of farm fishing, you think of a lot of negativity. So there's lots of bad, horrible Google things you can find, and all these fish eating chicken poop and eating their own poop and just like all this awful stuff. And this realm of fishing is called aquaculture. And so when you're taking fish, not making it coming from the ocean, not wild caught, but now breeding them, or not breeding them, having them in these big kind of huge tubes, things can get really sticky. And so I have been on the lookout for a very responsible, non-chemical, non-antibiotic, safe place for farm fishing. And I really love this company that I found, Quixotic. It's just fantastic because they have all the kind of right things in place for even becoming better. The thing with farm fishing is there's not as many omega-3s. Wild caught will obviously have more omega-3s, but they're getting there. And so if the algae is what the ocean animals eat, and you can't quite replicate that, or at least it hasn't been perfected yet. But this company is always progressing, it's always getting better. They're on the cutting edge of making farm fishing something that's not disgusting. So farm fishing, yes, can be very bad, but then there's amazing companies like Quixotic that's kind of on that cutting edge and making it better, because it's not only great for you guys to get a good source of protein, tilapia especially is such high protein, salmon as well, but you really have to think bigger picture, so our environment and making sure that we can enjoy our oceans and our oceans can live way past our generations in front of us. It's a topic that not enough people talk about. So talk about it with me. What do you think? Where do you get your fish? What are your kind of stigmas that are associated with farm fishing that you think of? And then start researching. And when you go to Whole Foods, research those brands, read the ingredients, see where it's coming from, and see if there's any company near you like Quixotic that's going to be kind of on that next edge of making sure we can get well-sourced fish without destroying our oceans. Okay, last topic. Angie Warden asked this on Twitter, but as most of you guys know, I have launched a major Kickstarter for my badass backpack that turns into a training bag. This is the EmPack. And Angie Warden asked how long it will be available on Kickstarter. The Kickstarter campaign ends in less than 2 weeks, and you can only get this pack for the price that I'm offering it on Kickstarter for the next 2 weeks. And so you're gonna get my pack plus 1 bladder, or pack plus 2 water bladders, which is 30 pounds of weight. You're gonna get it for 20% off. And so it's available for a limited more time, so that means get it now while you can. And then I will soon sell this on my website at superherounleashed.com. If you wanna see the video, it's attached below. Share it. Keep spreading the goodness of how awesome this pack is. It's my first invention and I'm very proud of it. All right, that is it for Ask Em. A little bit of white rice, a little bit of brown rice, a lot about fish, and a little about my EmPack. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you next week. Please keep asking questions, because that's why I do these videos. So if you have a question, all you have to do is hashtag AskEm on any of my social media accounts, Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, and I will answer. Next week, Blake, where will we be?
Kauai.
What? We're gonna go to Kauai. So our next episode will be filmed in Kauai. So I'll see you guys there.